Hey, so I took a trip to New York City last month. This trip came at a time when I was kind of in desperate need of diversion. The expected end of school, along with the unexpected end of my relationship, left me with a lot of free time, and there's really only so much sitting around and writing sad songs that one person can do. Loneliness is like a polyester sweater that I wear every day. Especially considering that I am not particularly adept at it. And I wear it well. I wear it well. So I took a trip to New York, which is one of my very favorite places to visit, and I saw one of my very favorite people to see, my best friend Sabrina, and I thought that I would share a little bit about that trip with you, so here it is. This time around, my flight was very crowded, and I was sitting so far in the back of the plane that it kind of felt like the outer reaches of Siberia. On the bright side, there was a super sweet view. Soon enough, I was in a cab traveling down the east side. The cab driver left all the windows of the cab open, and even though it was a really nice day, the wind was not to my liking. I met up with Sabrina and our adventures began. Now, I hadn't been in New York since February, and the change of season saw the city a changed place. Sabrina said that in the springtime, all the dogs and babies in the city suddenly emerge, and that did seem to be the case, sometimes emerging simultaneously in an explosion of springtime cuteness. Sabrina and I visited some of my favorite places, including the rooftop of the Met, Bloomingdale's for the best frozen yogurt ever, and the neighborhoods on the Upper West Side. And because the weather was so nice, we spent a fair amount of time in Central Park. We were intrigued by the proximity of a so-called quiet zone to a rowdy playground, and we marveled that not only is there a telephone number you can call to get information about the Alice in Wonderland statue, but Whoopi Goldberg is on the other end of the line. We also took to the famed boat pond for a bit. We were too afraid to switch rowers mid-boat ride lest we tip over in typical sitcom fashion, so Sabrina kindly took over the rowing duties, while I took on a very special role.
I'm the helmsman.
Being the helmsman meant that I directed the boat, but I wasn't very good at it, seeing as I directed us right into a large pile of rocks.
Can you nudge it? Nudge against the rock and it'll push us this way. Right? Well, we have half an hour to figure it out, so it's not that big a deal.
Luckily, Sabrina's cool under pressure, and we made it back to open water. The next day, we ventured down to Soho for the best breakfast food in town. Seriously, this is the best bacon I've ever had, ever. We stayed in a hotel that day at a weird little place off Broadway where there were super dark hallways, scary prehistoric sea creatures, and some odd over-the-bed artwork. Sabrina and I marveled at the smallness of both the elevator and the hotel rooms, which we determined were the length of 3 undoable cartwheels. There was also a super sweet view. We went to see How to Succeed in Business that evening on Broadway, and it was highly enjoyable. Threading our way back through Times Square after the show, I can't say I had any particularly deep or profound thoughts beyond how fun the play was, how to best make it across the busy street, and how delicious that bacon had been. Now, it's no secret that I love New York City, and as with any relationship, I feel like the more time I spend with New York, the more I learn about it. Seeing New York in springtime showed me yet more facets of the city I love. Its innovative use of real estate, its delightfully named stores, how it simultaneously serves as a stuff of childhoods, a backdrop for relationships, and even a balm for the broken-hearted. But of course, it wasn't just New York I was there to see. The company of a good friend was what I needed, and I left the city heartened by the knowledge that even when unexpected winds blow you off course, there are good friends there to grab an oar and help row you back.